took me a little like 2, 3 seconds to get a little setup, but we got it. We live, we action, no drop frames right now. We live, and we live with the one and only bro from the metaverse, and we seeing him right now. Matt Low 3D, brother. What's going on, man? I need to get my applause going, but I'll throw this in. I'll throw this on. Throw that music on for it. Yeah, but welcome, bro.
You got
Hey, thank you for
yeah.
showing up, man. We playing phone tag or DM tag for a minute. How you feeling?
Oh yeah. No, how many weeks has it been? You and me, just back and forth. Like, you got a
Ooh.
minute? Yeah, sure. And then finally we made some time. So yeah, it's good to talk to you again, Ben. We've known each other for a long time, right? Like the old days. Like it was only like
Long time.
however many years, 3 years, but it feels
Since we
like
started,
ages.
yeah, like 2020. I started what 20. I started what 2021. When you started?
No, yeah, around 21. No, yeah, around 21 too. Like right
See,
when Meta, Facebook changed its name to Meta, that's right when I got started. So
see, yeah, man. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just mute this guy.
you getting some echo.
Get an echo. Get an echo. Set this guy up for a second. People. Excellent. All right, yes, sir. So we in the building with Matt Lowe, man. Welcome to In the Lens with Benz. I'm your host, Beneficial Games, and that's y'all know me in VR. And IRL, I go by Beneficial Films. You know, today we're doing something different. We're doing mixing the virtual with the reality. And here I got one of the cleanest world creators of virtual, man, world creators, bro. You blender, you 3D animator. You're a 3D world builder, bro. From Verizon to I've seen your work in magazines. You made your own magazine, bro. You have your own Davio Technologies. You one of by far the cleanest the builds that that I've come across, bro. We finna talk more about AI, VR, and how it goes to the future and the waves of this digital space, bro. And on the show, we talk about the virtual reality, AI, and the creative journeys of those shaping the future, man. It's about imagination, innovation, and community. Today, we're diving in with Matt Lowe 3D, my guy. Tell me, how you feeling, bro? You busy, man? I caught you. You busy? You doing a bunch of stuff, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been last year was a busy year, and then yeah, at the end of December, start of January, just looking at what's coming down the pipe for myself and the team. It's gonna be another busy year, but that's kind of a good problem to have when you're trying to do stuff in this space. You kind of don't want to be without work and without things to do. So yeah, I'm excited for the things that are coming. Yeah, and you're doing great stuff too, Ben. I mean, as all your followers and anyone that watches, you're still in it deep and doing some great stuff too. So it's nice to talk
I'm
to guys
trying.
like you that are doing big things.
I'm trying, bro. And it was no, surprise seeing where you at now from like where I first seen you starting to begin, man. I was like, oh, you finna get picked up. You're finna get picked up with a lot of people. You're gonna start collaborating with a lot of stuff. I can't wait to see what the future holds and to see what you're gonna be creating with these brands and these people, bro. Can you tell people a little bit about like how you first started? Like, did you do a little bit of coding or did you
Yeah, I
build in
mean,
games before?
a little bit. Funny story. I used to actually do a lot of coding and building, 3D building and kind of coding for the U.S. military.
Oh,
And I was based in
Jim.
Canada, but I worked for a small kind of tech company in Canada, and they were providing like military simulations for the U.S. And Canadian military at the time. Where you could like rotate 3D models of like fighter jet engines and stuff, and I guess the soldiers would train on these models, how to repair certain things so that they wouldn't break them in the field.
Oh, wow.
So they'd break them in the computer first, and save
Oh,
however
wow.
many dollars uh,
Sorry.
for the military. So it was cool. I could never talk about my work, but the work itself was pretty cool. I got to visit military bases and things like that, yeah, I mean, and I've always been in the 3D industry. So kind of when all this started picking up with virtual reality and the metaverse and all that started getting kind of exciting for everyone. At the same
That's
time, I jumped in. I'm like, this is a good fit. I should give it a shot. And then I met a bunch of people that were just as enthusiastic about the future, you know. And I started a little group with them. So it's just a group of metaverse enthusiasts that want to do big things in the space and see the future and potential of it. Yeah, and so I've been going since then, like you said, 2021, I think it was. Even before then, but it's still going strong and still believe in the technology. Like it's getting better, it's getting thinner, it's getting slimmer and faster, and yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah.
just going to be very exciting. I'm excited for my kids what they're going to end up experiencing because
Oh
eventually they're
yeah.
going to get old and they're going to get to see the really cool stuff, right? So
Bro, I love that, bro. So you was building models. You saying before VR? So for the PC, you was building these models, and
oh yeah, this is like
they could go in there and kind of like fix the things in like in PC, not even having it before virtual.
yeah, no, it'd be like on a little tablet or on their computer, and they like these soldiers would learn how to repair, say, a tank, you know, like a military
Wow.
tank. And the reason they did that is because at that time, the soldiers were training in real life with these parts, and they would often break these parts, like maybe a pipe that would be a $5,000 custom made pipe for this tank. There's a $5,000 part broken
Gone.
because you know that's the only way to train them. So they switched it and they started training them on computers. And I was kind of the guy that filled the gap in terms of creating these models. And they have to be
Wow.
realistic. They have to be very, they have to be accurate because they can't be
And
inaccurate. So
that's huge, bro. Because that's one way I will get people to try to kind of get excited about the future of VR. Is like, what if you guys want to learn about mechanics or like electricity? You know what I mean? You don't got to worry about the car falling in your head or you getting electrocuted. You can learn from a safe environment in the VR space. And here you go, starting it. So already started, bro. You already ahead of the game, and I could tell that you could see. Oh, okay, this is when you probably was doing that. You can see how the future could be when more than just the military. We starting from the military, man. That's huge, man.
yeah.
That's huge. That's huge. What? How did you get into the gaming of it all, though? I know it's this 3D and gaming goes hand in hand, but how did you get like mushed into like the social, or did you start even gaming, or did you go straight into the social apps? Tell me about your journey with that.
Yeah, I mean, for the longest time, I think it's been mostly social worlds that I've wanted to build, and I think that was the case for a lot of people in the virtual
Okay.
reality space at the beginning. You know, and then Meta also, made their push into more. We want you guys to create games for us. If you can do it, that'd be great. And of course, if you want to build the community up, if they're guiding you and saying, build some games for us, and the crowds will come. But I think a lot of creators jumped into that and wanted to support Meta in that way. For me, I actually never really made games when before I started in virtual reality. I was a gamer. I played a lot of games, like I play Xbox and all that, and so you kind of you kind of get a knack for what makes for a fun game. Plus, I have 4 kids, so I often like they're kind of like they're not really they're like unpaid source of like a lot of great information in terms of okay, what kind of things do kids find
Nice.
fun these days, and my son, he's great. He's 9 years old, and he's like, Dad, you got to make this game more violent, or you got to make this game more, more things to jump off of or whatever. It's his age, things that they want to see in a game, right? So you kind of lean into those like sources of information and great beta testers too. Yeah, but
I
I
love
never
that.
really was into gaming or like making games. I was just a gamer, and then I kind of fell into it naturally as well.
Bro, I love that, man. And you haven't created a game yet, and you haven't created a game yet.
No, I've made a bunch of games since then. Yeah,
All
since Meta made their push for everyone, can you like try to learn how to make games? Um, since then I've made quite a few. And it's been fun. Like
See that garden one, right?
you
You made the
don't know.
garden one. How? Tell me.
Didn't make a garden one. No, I don't know. Well, I did make a garden world, but I don't know if it's. Oh no, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I did make a
He
garden
said
world.
he done made so
I'm
much
losing
worlds.
track of the games.
Tell me
Either
though.
that or my coffee hasn't kicked in yet.
Can you describe like one of your favorite VR projects, man, you've done so far? Tell me why.
The Come Dine with Me was kind of cool because um I don't know if you've ever been to that one, but that one's basically just a virtual reality experience. It's only 5 minutes long, I think. and you go in, you go in with a friend or a date. You go. By the way, Valentine's Day is coming up. That's a good world to visit.
Oh yeah,
And you just kind
definitely.
of dine in virtual reality, and you also kind of die together in virtual reality. And it's from the safe space of your virtual reality headset. So only die in the headset, not in real life. But it's
Oh, that's
yeah, it's
deep.
just an experience, and
So it's
yeah.
like a immersive storyline you can do with your date.
Basically, yeah, it's just you're having a date night, all the food comes out, it's nice, you get to chat, and things start happening, doors start locking in the restaurant, you can't really get out, you start getting a
Oh
little
snap!
freaked out. And yeah.
Oh, that sounds like fun. What's the name of that? It's a Meta Horizon.
Yeah, Meta Horizon, come dine with me.
Come dine with me. Okay, I gotta check that out. Bring my girl, my girl on that one. Can you tell me, bro, what got you, um, what got you started with the Devio technologies, bro? When I think of Devio, I think of like the future. I think of future cars. I think of like realistic, shiny, you know what I mean, dystopia kind of luxury. Um, can you tell me how you got started with that and like what's your plans for that, man?
Yeah, the Veo has very humble beginnings. It actually just started as a little friend group. I met some really great VR creators in this space that had their own ambitions with what they wanted to do. I think it was beginning, it was like guys like Daydream Davy, Ray Vanity, Lex Ty, just people who also had a passion for VR stuff and were doing great things in there too. And then I just decided I do want to make this something in the future, so I'm going to start a group early. Um, and then they were happy to be part of it, and we kind of just supported one another throughout our journey in the here. Um, yeah, and now it's the first few years, at least for myself, it's been a lot of portfolio building for the brand and just like proving things like, okay, let's test out if we create a car, what that's going to look like. Does it do well? Do people buy it? Do people enjoy driving virtual vehicles or hanging out in them? And then the next we tested out, fashion too. Before avatar fashion was a thing, we did dev shades, and testing out sunglasses. I gave a bunch of free sunglasses to world builders that were doing cool stuff. I said, here's a pair of sunglasses just for your made a nice nightclub. I want you to feel like a star in your club. You can put these on anytime when anyone visits. They know you're the builder. You got these cool shades on. So it was a lot of just the first few years, a lot of testing the waters, a lot of seeing what's interesting with brands get in, would they want something built, what can we sell, things like that. And now we're at a point where I want to go around, especially this year, with basically everything we've done, everything that we did over the few years to prove that this was a viable business. Um, and we have enough there to show companies like, hey, we can, first of all, we can get investment for the kind of company we want to build, but also seeking out companies and like being like, okay, we've been in this space for a while. If you need your brand integrated in here, we've done it before. We've put on events, and we can, you know, we can really get your brand involved in the right way in this space. You think about it, a lot of companies, they have their brick and mortar location, they have their website, maybe they have their social media channels. One thing they've yet to kind of get into is this new immersive space where their brand can also be and it's free to operate. It runs 24/7, 365 days a year. You don't even have to, there's very little maintenance. There's just an upfront investment to get your world built. And then all of a sudden, you got another location where your brand is. Not only that, but it's an interactive location. So if you have a product, I mean, it's great for businesses like that where, you can have customers from the comfort of their own home pick up, your company, your brand's shoe or, whatever it is you're selling in real life and like look at it and it's to scale. We can even put in the right materials of that shoe and it's like, wow,
Hmm.
okay, this is really cool. So
I love that, bro, and that's exactly what I've seen when I first stepped into VR. I've seen the possibilities of okay, where it's another way of promoting or advertising your brand or your business, and to create a world as if every brand is kind of doing. You know what I mean? Where it comes to either artist or a clothing line, it's like your own world, or you want people to kind of gravitate towards how you want people to feel when they look at your brand or business, right? And so this is it, but you can really get inside of it in VR. So capitalizing on that, bro, I feel like you seen it and you like, all right, let me put my style, let me put my aesthetic in here. And I personally, I feel like um that's it. That's it when it comes to like luxury. When it comes to like clean, what I mean, clean walls, or futuristic for what this VR is. It's like something for the future. So I feel like it matches. It matches, my man. It matches. You you also been we had Horace Mack. We had Horace Mack on the show. And he definitely big ups to you and the team, man. And from his music videos and like commercial style content, how do you get your creativity juices flowing when it comes to, I say, like the creative side of what you do?
Yeah, that's a great question, and that's a conversation me and Charles have had many times throughout our journey in here. And obviously, it's a little bit different for him because it's with music and all that, but kind of not really. It's a lot of the similar things. It's we've talked about creative waves, and when that creative wave hits you, you better make sure you kind of run with it because there'll be periods where you'll have a lull. You'll have a kind of like you're not ideas aren't really flowing, things aren't really happening, and that's okay too. That's your body naturally telling itself, you might want to take a bit of a break, take a bit of a breather, maybe think about things, and then when the timing's right and you're doing the right things, maybe you're ingesting the right content or you're hanging around the right people and having great conversations, an idea will spark. At least that's how it usually works with me. I'll watch a movie. I'll hear some kind of interesting conversation of like, it'd be really cool if someone did this world, or and then that's what kind of gets things going. I noticed that if you try to force it, it can be painful because you're getting frustrated and the ideas aren't really happening. You want to be creative, but you're not quite. Something's happened. You've kind of lost it for a bit. I've found that if you just kind of put yourself in the right places, do the right things, to kind of allow creativity to flow towards you, that's when better ideas come. They come more naturally, and nothing's forced. It's actually very organic and natural. So yeah.
I love that's really great advice, bro. Because sometimes I be hitting a lot of brain farts, but I think I got like ADHD, and I think about like 20,000 things at once. So that combined is like, oh, no, 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 no. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, just take
In
the time to
there.
breathe, bro. And yeah, and I really value your team and how you guys do have y'all all individual strengths and push it together. Um,
Yeah.
what advice would you give someone just starting off as VR, bro? Starting off in VR, what kind of advice would you give out? And let me talk. I'll be
Uh,
right back.
yeah, yeah. Um, I'd say get your VR legs going, first of all. I had my daughter have a hard time with virtual reality at the start. And she's like, I feel like I'm falling over. I'm like, yeah, that's your VR legs. It takes some time, get that going. But for anyone looking to make I guess career in here, do some cool stuff, just test things out, try things out, test the waters. Um, yeah, just do what you do what you can to try as many different ideas as you can at the beginning. Um, and you'll get lucky. Like sometimes some things will stick. As I did in the early days was test. And I tested out an idea of creating a restaurant. Um, and didn't think nothing of it. I was just doing it for fun. And sure enough, like the next day, my phone was blowing up with just messages of like, hey, I visited your restaurant. Mind you, this is the early days of like Verizon, so this restaurant was not that great looking, but for the time, it was like something pretty cool. And people were having dates in there and doing some cool stuff. And um, so yeah, I mean, just test the waters early, and yeah, also trust your gut. Uh, if you have an idea, trust your gut, try it out. Most likely, if you have a good gut instinct about something, it'll pan out. And there's also a lot of people to support you with your ideas and the technical side of things, especially now. The community is really great for that. So yeah, just try different things out, test the waters, and good things will happen.
I've been trying to tell people, man, just get on the headset.
Mhm.
Just get on the headset, meet some people like Matt Lowe, and you know, man,
Yeah.
just see what you can see, what ideas can start flowing for real. How do you
Yep.
see VR
Yep.
changing the way people connect socially and creatively, though? Like for the future.
Uh, yeah, that's actually the part that got me most excited. It wasn't even for myself to build in 3D. It was like, man, this is going to change things. You think about it, you can if these headsets get even cheaper and more common throughout the world, I mean, you can connect all the way across the world to some person in Paris or, wherever. And you can even give like some of the poorest people on the planet the means to connect with family, with each other in like the most like
True.
interactive and immersive way possible. It doesn't have to be a flat phone call, TV screen, computer screen. It can be something much more than that. Um, and so I'm excited for that future because uh, I mean that, and it makes sense that Meta's getting involved because they're all about, connection and connecting people with one another. And so if we can get to that point, I think that's going to be really a really great thing for humanity. And as long as we keep things, regulated and safe, like safe for children, safe for people to use, and I think it's going to be a really great thing for everyone.
No, I agree, bro, man. 100% agree. I'm looking forward to see like how the people will change it. You know what I mean? Because it takes community. It takes community. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be as big or strong as it is now without the people creating things. You know what I mean? Here for it.
Yep.
So speaking of you know what I mean, the future and technologies, AI is coming up on us and doing a lot of cool things. Do you see AI as a collaborator or a competitor when it comes to your what you doing and what we doing here in the VR space or in general?
Yeah, yeah, I think the way it is now, I mean, it keeps evolving, it keeps getting better. And I think people don't have to be as fearful as some people are being of it. You know, of, of course it'll replace, certain jobs. But for many, I mean, I do know like, you know, even when you speak to AI, for instance, and say you want, I was working with one the other day, and you really need the knowledge of what it is you do professionally to kind of guide the AI. And so if you can't speak that way to an AI, actually it doesn't give you the greatest results to this point. Like say, for instance, you want a camera pan and then you want it to zoom in and things like that. Those terminologies, those kind of that kind of language from like say a filmmaker's standpoint only you would know. And AI is learning it, but if you don't speak to, like, if I were just, a carpenter, and then I say to AI, I want the camera to do something here. I'm not quite sure what, but whatever. You're not going to get the greatest results. So, AI really
I
is a
feel that.
tool, and you should use it to your advantage and learn the language that you need to speak with it. And yeah, I think, it's very easy to want to resist it or to fight it or complain about it. But I find that the people who are the most successful within their industries currently are the ones that have learned to adapt it and use it for their own benefits. Um, I've been using it like as much as I can to my own benefit, planning out my days, planning out my vacation, planning out ideas, like for next builds, how to
Right.
optimize my builds. I'm going in there, I'm asking it, how can I optimize this better? So I really am using it as a tool. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're doing it that way, I mean, you're just becoming more productive, which makes you more valuable to other companies. And they're probably going to look for, hey, do you have any AI experience? Do you know how to talk to it? And so use that to your advantage, at least right now. Like if it's going to be something that's going to be useful to be on your resume, like, hey, I know how to talk to Midjourney, ChatGPT, Grok, all these different AIs. That's going to be something that you can actually benefit from. So yeah, don't lose out on this opportunity, especially right now, like I said, the way things are.
Oh yeah. They're at our doorsteps, and there's everything. There's always an update. Every day, I wake up, it's an update. There's so many
Yep.
AIs that
Every
they
day.
always update.
Yep.
Now, if you could build your dream VR world though, man, with no limits whatsoever, what would that look like? And have you done it already though? Because I feel like we kind of have no limits. But I know like when it comes to capacity and making the world so big, we need servers and stuff like that. But if you could, what would that look like?
Mhm. Yeah. Well, like you mentioned earlier, I love the luxury builds, right? And I think that, like I said, it's really cool that, we can give any person on the planet, regardless of your income or your, stature in society or whatever, you can experience a really, nice, luxurious hotel or, vacation spot, and if the graphics keep getting better and more realistic, I mean, that's pretty cool to give someone that ability to like have a 5-star resort vacation in virtual reality and be like, wow, this is what it feels like. This is pretty cool. And so I guess that would be my ultimate build. And especially when we hopefully get the capacity for it, Horizon Studios coming out, I should mention that.
Oh
And that's exciting because
yes.
that's going to allow for about 100 players or so. Um, and it's also going to bring in a lot of things that 3D artists have been looking for, like shaders for water, so the water can actually move. We don't have to do any kind of fake water movement or anything like that.
Mm.
So a lot of exciting things coming. And so yeah, I guess if you're asking me what kind of build I would love to do, I still have in the plans to do called I'm calling it the Metalago, which is kind of a spin on the Mar-a-Lago that you guys have in the States. I just really like that building and the luxury of it. So I want to do one similar to that. That's not politically related, by the way, but just a nice, luxurious resort type building that you can experience in virtual reality, and hopefully branch off from that as well. Do some restaurants, do some like wine bars and cigar bars, and I think all that stuff would lend itself really well to like virtual reality, which is what I want to make it, just virtual reality worlds rather than mobile worlds.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess that would be my what I would want to do.
I love that, bro. I love that, man. I can't
Oh,
wait to see what you coming out with next, man. Anything you can any like anything you can show sneak peek that you coming out with? Any things coming out, man?
I can't show anything yet. I do have stuff, so I'll probably end up dropping it on my Instagram, which is usually the first place I go to drop kind of sneak peeks of stuff. But um, yeah, it's
Okay,
not
it's on the
quite ready
hush.
yet.
It's on
Yeah.
the hush, y'all. Not yet, not quite yet. But when it comes through, I'll be happy to let me know when I can come in there and shoot it or help you showcase it, advertise what you've been doing, man. I would love to, bro. Please.
Oh, cool.
Anything,
Thank you, man.
and I appreciate the time you taking your time to come chat it up with me. I know we got some stuff to go out and do, man. But any shameless plugs, any shout outs that you want to do before we sign out, brother?
Yeah, I guess so. Just shout out to my DeVeo team. Just I love them to death. Over the years, they've kept me in this to want to keep doing this. And just the supporting one another, and also the community. Just keep being an amazing community. I don't even have to say that. It really is a great community to be involved in. Um, and yeah, just if you want, check us out. Check me out at matlow.3d on Instagram and DeVeo Technologies on Instagram. Yeah, and we can help with anything, whether it's something paid or just free chat, just to help you out if you're getting your journey started. Yeah, that's it.
My man, man. Thank you so much. Matt Low 3D in the building, y'all. Matt Low 3D. His name is right down by his chest, man. To the right of me, to your left, to my left and right. Y'all know, man. But that's gonna be a wrap on In the Lens with Ben's. Huge thank you to Matt Low 3D for joining us and sharing your story, my man. Make sure to check them out at Matt Low 3D down there and at Davio Technologies. Make sure I put their name in there down there in the description, man. Thank you for everyone watching and listening. If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to follow, share, and stay tapped in for more creators and innovators stepping into the future of VR and AI. Until the next time, this is Benz signing off. Keep creating, keep imagining, and always stay in that lens. Matt Lowe. Thank you, bro. Keep going, bro. Let me know what the next one. We got a link. We got a link in VR, bro. Maybe a
Absolutely,
link in
man.
a Blender test or something, bro.
Something. Thanks, Ben. This is great. Thank you, man.
Oh man, thank you so